Akim Shalom. Before we begin this lesson, I want to start off by giving all glory, honor, and praises to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Rachakwadash. Double honor to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone and taught us this truth. The sincere Shalom to the hopeful elect that's out there listening, learning, and or teaching. Shalom to you all. All right. So today we want to go into Jacob's trouble. And, the current events that's going on right now. Basically, we are coming into the time of Jacob's trouble. All right. This is Jeremiah chapter 30 and verse 4. And these are the words that Yahweh spake concerning Israel and concerning Judah. Okay, why Israel and Judah? Because if you read your biblical history, you will understand that the kingdom of Israel split in two after the time of Solomon. Okay, so basically you ended up having the kingdom of Judah, which is today the so-called Negroes, and the kingdom of Israel, which today is the so-called Hispanics and Native Americans. Okay, so Israel represents the northern kingdom and Judah represents the southern kingdom, which altogether are the 12 tribes of Israel. For thus saith Yahweh, we have heard a voice of trembling, of fear, and not of peace. Right? And that's the time we're coming into. All hell breaking loose. People getting destroyed out on the street. Not just from the different ICE agents and police and military, but also people fighting each other. Insurrections. Okay? People going to war against each other for lack of bread. Okay? It says, ask ye now, and see whether a man doth travail with child. Right? Does a man give birth? Why? It's going to go into it. Wherefore do I see every man with his hands on his loins as a woman in travail, and all faces are turned into paleness. Right? So why is all these men out here screaming and crying like pregnant women? And their faces are turned to paleness, right? Going into how weak they looking. All right? Grown-ass men going to be looking real weak. It's a time like no other, man. All right, verse 7. Alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even a time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. All right, this is the time we're coming into. All right, the time of our, of a fiery trial that's getting ready to come on our people. All of us. All right. Okay, and of course, you're going to have the hour of temptation, which is the mandation of the mark of the beast, okay, the hand chip and the brain chip, which will be mandatory for buying and selling. Okay, all this stuff happens in Jacob's trouble, but we will be saved out of it. Who's we? The elect. Lord's will, I be of the elect. Lord's will, you brothers and sisters, be of the elect. All right. So yeah, man, that's Jacob's trouble. Okay, and notice here how it says Israel and Judah, right? Because we're still the 2/3 have not come together. Okay. Now the hopeful elect has come back together as 12 tribes under this truth. Okay. So we are the hopeful elect, the nation of Israel. All right, the full 12 tribes. Okay, but 2/3 are out there divided, hating each other. All right, thinking it's not they fight when the other tribes get attacked. Okay, but they're going to learn real soon that it is. Okay, but just notice how it says Israel and Judah, right? Okay, making that distinction. Okay, we're going to go into just a couple articles real quick. It's going to show you how basically Jacob's trouble, is being orchestrated by these Edomites, these so-called white people. Okay, and I got a bunch of tabs opened up, but basically real quick, I just want to go into the Masonic motto. Okay, this is something called order out of chaos, also known as ordo ab chao. All right, it says, and this is the universal code masonry.org, right? It says, this phrase being depicted so prominently particularly in relation to the 33rd degree, indicates a tremendous importance to Freemasonry. Indeed, ordo ab chaos, translated to order out of chaos, is also associated with another Latin phrase, lux in tenebres, which translates to light from darkness, which is the idea of order from chaos or light from darkness, so significant in Freemasonry. Let's explore this question together, all right? But we're not going to go into it. We just wanted to get the actual saying, what it means. And, this is light from darkness, order out of chaos, right? So the way these devils work is they create a problem and then they offer a solution to the problem they created in order to do what? To push an agenda or to accomplish a goal. Okay, and we know what these devils' goals are. You could read about the Georgia Guidestones. Okay, they want to destroy Jake. They want to get their blessing back on the because Esau believes that he should rule the world. Okay, the Lord did not give him that blessing, though. The Lord gave that blessing to our people, the Israelites, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. Okay, so these Edomites want to destroy our people. Okay, and the way they're going to do it, they're going to come down on us with great wrath. They're going to have an excuse to come down on us. And I'm going to pull up these receipts here, these excuses that, these devils have been planning for years. Look, this article is from September 25th, 2024. It says, Trump claims Harris is responsible for a controversial shoplifting law, but he overstates her role. It basically goes down, and it says, in at least 8 recent campaign and press events, Trump and other high-profile Republicans have sought to cast Harris as weak on crime, holding her responsible for California's Proposition 47, which makes the theft of goods worth $950 or less a misdemeanor rather than a felony, right? So she was incentivizing crime, right? In these areas like California, where who lives in California? A lot of Jake. Okay, so why did they do that? Why did they incentivize our people to commit crime? Because our people are the only ones who really feel like they should steal, because our people are oppressed. Our people have been robbed and stolen from and oppressed for the longest time by who? By these Edomites and all these other nations. Okay, so what do? They incentivize our people to commit crime so that when the crime is committed, they could put it on the news. All right, same thing. Okay, this is the Southern Kingdom, right? Mostly, so-called Negroes, who they make the face of crime here in America. All right, and then of course we understand that during the time of Biden, they had completely open borders, and everybody was coming through, not just the so-called Mexicans, Hispanics, but they made our people the face of illegal immigration, so-called Hispanics. So they did this all during Biden's term, okay, to create chaos. Now they come in with the order. Do you see it? Here's an article now from just 3 days ago, published August 22nd, 2025. It says, National Guard mobilizing in 19 states amid immigration and crime crackdown. Do you see it? They created the problem of illegal immigration. They created the problem of crime and theft. Right now, they're offering the solution. Here's this very important paragraph. It says up to 1,700 National Guardsmen are set to mobilize in 19 states in the coming weeks to assist the Department of Homeland Security with President Donald Trump's nationwide crackdown on illegal immigration and crime. Pentagon officials confirmed to Fox News. So again, I'm going to say it again. All right? I have to keep reiterating, man, because this is big, man. Illegal immigration, who is the face of that? You so-called Hispanics and Native Americans. Who's the face of crime? You so-called Negroes. According to Esau, of course. Our people, yeah, there's some wicked of our people, but, okay, Esau's a false accuser, man, because he set our people up to do these crimes. You see? So why? So he could have an excuse to come and destroy our people, man, because he thinks he's going to get his blessing back. All right? And of course, the devil, Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, has a perpetual hatred for our people. He has a perpetual hatred, as the scriptures have said. Okay? And I know it says only 1,700, but that number is going to continue to escalate, just like everything else that happens. You know, these devils do everything gradually, man. Okay? Look, this is the word gradualism. A policy of gradual reform rather than sudden change or revolution. See, and that's how these devils work. Because these Edomites, these so-called white people, are not just any white people, Salakia, these elites of Esau, Edom. Okay, so the top white people on the earth, so-called white people that rule the world, the international bankers, Rothschilds, Rockefellers, and all them, they implement gradualism. Okay, and there's an analogy called the boiling frog analogy, and it describes how people tend to tolerate slow, incremental negative changes until it's too late to react. And that's what they're doing, man. They setting up the military in all these different states. All right, nice and slow, making it seem like it's to help protect you. But eventually they're going to come down with great wrath, first and foremost on us Israelites and all you other nations. You know, you're going to get caught up in this, man. Even you so-called white people are going to get caught up and get gunned down by the military, man. Because it's the Lord's judgment, not just on the wicked of our own people, all right, but also these other nations. They're going to, you know, the brotherhood, you know, the brothers of GMS always say, you know, Jacob's trouble is going to turn into Esau's trouble, man. Okay, because it's going to be a time like no other. You see? But yeah, man, you know, this has all been orchestrated by Esau, man. But the Lord has given us the secrets to expose his ass, man. And it's all been written in these scriptures. Okay? This is Revelation 12:12. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe, which means destruction, sorrow, right? To the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea. For the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time. Who is this devil? We already said is Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, the one who's saying that you Negroes and Latinos are the problem here because you cause illegal immigration and crime, right? And he didn't call us out by name, but who is he attacking? Who's he talking shit about? Clearly, it's us, man. This is the word devil.
Strong's G 1228.
Diabolos.
Diabolos.
In the Greek.
Diabolos.
What does it mean? Prone to slander. Slander's accusing falsely, right? They stole this land from us, right? They never gave our people reparations. And what are they doing? Continuing to pretend like we're the one who's causing all the problems. These devils are the ones destroying the whole earth, man. Poisoning the minds of the people. Okay? They got people committing all type of wicked acts. People are taking their own lives because life has become terrible here, man. Because these white people rule the earth in wickedness, man. They are anti-life. Yet they say we are the problem. You see? It's a false accuser, man. The devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, knowing he has but a short time. Because Yahushua is going to put an end to this man's world very soon. All right, and it's going to happen in the midst of Jacob's trouble after the MOTB is mandated for buying and selling. All right, this is 2 Corinthians 2:11. Lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. All right, we're not ignorant of the plans of these devils, man. All right, what is the word device?
Strong's G 3540. Naima.
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 In the Greek. Okay, what does it mean? An evil purpose, man. We are not ignorant of their evil purpose. We know that they use order ab chaos, right? Order out of chaos. You know, implementing gradualism. Okay? Keeping the people divided and distracted. All right? Keeping the people stressed out, working 2-3 jobs so they can't think about what the fuck is going on, man. You see? We understand all these things. But, you know, it's not going to work. Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahushai is not going to allow these devils to accomplish their evil purpose. Okay, this is Psalm 64:6. They search out iniquities. Okay, iniquity is immoral or grossly unfair behavior. Right? They accomplish a diligent search. Diligent, right? They work hard to find strategies to implement these plans, man. both the inward thought of every one of them. Every one of them, man. Speaking about these elite bankers, man, the top echelon of the Edomites. And the heart is deep, right? They're not stupid, they're wise. Scriptures say you are wiser than Daniel, right? The children of the wicked on this side, they have so much wisdom, okay? In worldly things, they're able to use the sword and kill our people through all these different means, okay? Of course in war, but also through the foods they're poisoning us with, through the different influences in the media, having our people out here gunning each other down on the street, selling drugs, gang banging, all this bullshit, just through his ability to influence. You see? And they do all these different things to get our people to be the face of crime so they can accuse us, right? That word devil means accuser, right? They accuse us to the Heavenly Father day and night. Why? Because they're mad that we have the blessing and not them. And no matter how badly we're cursed on this side, we are not damned. We are cursed, but we are not damned. And our punishment is almost up, Esau, and then you're going down. All right? Which that's going into it in the next verse. This is Psalm 64:7. But the Most High shall shoot at them with an arrow. Suddenly shall they be wounded. Right, because the scriptures say in the fullness of his sufficiency, he shall be in straits, right? And then it talks about how the Lord's going to rain fire upon them while they're eating. Meaning when this devil finally accomplishes or believes that he accomplished his new world order by getting everybody chipped up with Neuralink, with the RFID C-hip, okay? Everybody that's going to get chipped up gets chipped up. That's when Yahushua very shortly thereafter will rain that fire upon him, man, in the form of thermonuclear destruction from Russia, from all these other nations. All right, that's the Lord Yahweh Bahashem Yahushua's judgment on America. All right, and ultimately that's going to end this empire of the Edomites. All right, this whole power structure that they have to rule the earth in wickedness is going to be done away with in 1 hour in World War III. This is what the scriptures has told us. Psalm 64 and verse 8. So shall they make their own tongue to fall upon them. All that see them shall flee away. That's right. Like these little websites here where I explain their whole strategy. Order out of chaos. All right. Even their different news articles, if you pay attention, they tell on themselves. Okay. You can go on these different websites like BitChute and Rumble and all these different video sharing platforms, and you can see what they call truthers and preppers, right? Those guys that are out in the woods giving you people advice and making videos exposing the plans of their own people, these elite Edomites, man. Because you got run-of-the-mill Edomites exposing other Edomites all over the internet, man. So they telling on themselves, their own tongue is falling on them, and all that see them shall flee away. Yeah, people are afraid of all these different things now. People don't want GMOs. People don't want to listen to music anymore because of the different frequencies they put in the music to influence your mind. People are starting to realize this man's wickedness goes deep, and everything around you is filled with wickedness, and you gotta you gotta be careful with everything you deal with, man. The movies you watch, the videos you watch, the foods you eat, the people you believe and listen to. Okay, everything in this world has been corrupted by these devils, man. All right, Psalm 64 and 9, and all men shall fear and shall declare the work of the Most High, for they shall wisely consider of his doing. Okay, because the Lord controls all things, man. Ultimately, these devils are controlled by Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. And we know this is part of the Lord's movie, okay? And ultimately, we had to learn what it was like to live in a world ruled by wickedness in order to be perfect judges of the earth in the world to come as the elect. All right? Lord's will, I be of the elect. Verse 60, Psalm 64:10, the righteous shall be glad in Yahweh and shall trust in him, and all the upright in heart shall glory. All right, so yeah, Akim, we got to keep our faith in Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. The Lord has told us beforehand that these things would all happen, and it is happening. Okay, so continue to pray, continue to believe and have faith, continue to do what you're supposed to do in this truth, keeping the law to the best of your abilities, and staying in these scriptures and staying prayed up. For the kingdom of heaven is at hand. All right, the end of this wicked ass empire is at hand. And those of you that are joined unto it are going to be burned with fire, along with these devils, these Edomites, and their whole empire. All right, so with that, I pray that this lesson was edifying to the hopeful elect, giving all glory, honor, and praises to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rachakorash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone that taught us his truth. Sincere shalom to the hopeful elect that's out there listening, learning, and or teaching. Shalom wa abad babal. Shalom.